Everyone to Soda City Live. October is Long-Term Care Planning Month. The month creates awareness among more seasoned citizens and their caretakers to understand and prepare for health care for adults. Today we're going to be focusing on estate planning, and joining me is an estate planning expert, Lisa Hostetler Brown. She's known as LawyerLisa. I said earlier, what's the name of your business? Where are you? I knew you were an attorney, and it's called LawyerLisa.
LawyerLisa, yeah.
And you're in Lexington.
Yeah.
It makes it very easy to remember.
Yes, it is.
So let's start, Lisa, with the fact, and I really, we talk about the mature audience for this. The time to talk about it, though, is not when you've gotten to your older years. There's a planning time ahead of that. But first talk about the fact that I'm amazed at how many people have not planned for long-term care.
The numbers and the statistics on people that haven't planned are amazing. It's like half of people don't have basic estate planning in place, and the numbers are so much higher for complex planning that can really preserve assets and plan for long-term care.
So in a way to encourage our viewers to understand the seriousness of being able to have this done, talk about what happens if they don't do it.
Oh, well, we could spend all day talking about that, but just having basic documents in place in advance before something happens. You can go when you're 18 years old, and that's who needs these documents, until you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s. You can have basic documents just in case something happens where you can't redo your documents later. But as you get older, that's when you need a little more sophistication.
At what age would you recommend people come in to do this?
I mean, technically at 18, you really need some basic documents, but estate planning is normally done by people in their 40s and 50s.
So if somebody maybe they've done that document early on, but they need to revisit it because life has changed so much since you were 18, if in fact you even did it at 18.
Of course, and then we normally use retirement age as a good guide. Even if you had something done, maybe you did something when your children were younger, now it's time to look at your stuff again and think about, I'm getting older, what are my options? What kind of planning do I need to do?
And what are those options for estate plans?
I'm an artist. There's so many options. It's so dependent on your family situation, the way your assets are structured, not necessarily how much you have, but is it in an IRA? Is it in your home? Is it in a brokerage account? And that's where we develop and design a plan that works for you in particular.
And I'm glad you explained that way to our viewers. It's not like they can just go on your website and say, I want option A, B, or C. They really need to come to you and say, this is what all we have. And then it's your job to lay all of that out, look at it, and say, here's how it's most beneficial to you if we make it go this way.
Oh, yeah. Lane and I, my other attorney, we work on these all the time. We have, all the paintbrushes, and we design a plan that's going to work for, if you have children that are really great and they're going to be able to help, or maybe you don't, everybody's situation is different. You can't just do something very cookie cutter that people are used to thinking they can do.
Right. Explain to our viewers a little bit about the trust and who would need that trust, and then also a life care planning.
So a trust is a great way to avoid having to go to court later on. So if assets are properly titled in a trust, not just having one, but having your assets set up the right way, then it's a really easy way to avoid all the hassle of probate, possible fighting, litigation. It's very expensive. And then life care planning is for when elderly people start to become unhealthy. So if you're caring for a spouse at home and maybe they're having some falls and have some physical problems, or if somebody's got early signs of dementia, that's the time to start looking into life care planning and what your options are.
When people come to you, what do they need to prepare ahead of time before they get into your office?
Yeah, we give everyone a questionnaire. Most estate planning attorneys would do the same thing. But the questionnaire is going to ask about basic information, so we're not wasting time on that. And then it's going to ask about that family information and the financials that are really important to developing the right plan.
I was trying to call you LawyerLisa, which you are, but Lisa, I love that you are emphasizing this, and especially that this month is dedicated to encouraging people to do it, because I've seen families who have done it and the benefit to it, and I've watched families who haven't, and there's a lot of heartache that can be involved with that.
Yes, unfortunately, I've done a lot of probate litigation and different litigation related to this over the years, and it's really heartbreaking because you're tearing up families when they fight about this.
Well, glad you're available to that, and thanks for educating our viewers on that. And we'll have more Soda City Live right after this.